Hello, I'm Brianna. Welcome to my life on paper, where paper and pictures tell my story. Today, I am playing along with the Sketch Sunday crew, and we use exclusive sketches. Today is a sketch by me. I'm very excited to use this. It's got some mixed media in the background. So I have a picture again from last year, from when we went out with our friends Christine and Pablo to Chicago, and this is when we were at Portillos for dinner after New Year's Eve. I started off with Creamy's Pining for You. That's from Shimmer's Paints. And these are new to me. I got them like on a Black Friday deal. And so I did add a little bit of water to that. I'm going to corner around the corners of the photo. And then I found this just on my desk. It was the perfect scrap for this. It's because it's got a little bit of that green in it, and then it's got a little bit of gold. And I'm also going to bring some gold in. I do not round the corners of the mat. I leave those. You barely see any of it, so you just get to see a little bit more with leaving those corners square. I will adhere the photo to the mat right away with my ATG adhesive. Now I'm going to open up the shimmers. I've got Anchors Away and Sunny, and I'll get out my paintbrushes. These were very inexpensive at Michael's, and I will mix that up. And then I'm going to make those circles on the right-hand side. And I start very conservatively with a small circle, just kind of trying to figure out how I want this to go. So I get a circle on, and then I will go and pick up a different color and do it up above. I am using Vicky Bouton's mixed media paper. It's thick and it'll hold. In the middle, I'm gonna use some water to get the paints to kind of mix and move, and it holds the water really good. So it does bend a little bit, but going into page protector, I'm not worried about that. So here I am with the gold, and right away I know I'm going to need to make a bigger circle. So I'll start off by making that a bigger circle, and then I go back to. I'm still keeping the gold nearby in case I have to change that at all. And again, just freehanding it, just trying to make it circular. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've got a big brush stroke right there, which I kind of like, but I'm thinking, oh, I don't know, if the other ones don't have big brush strokes like that, I'm not sure how I want to do that. So I'll come back to that later. I have a smaller brush for the green, so I get to do a little bit more painting with that, which is just fine and gives me some brush strokes, which I like on the inside, as opposed to the wispy brush strokes on the outside in the blue. So I'm getting happy with that, and then I will wet the paper down a little bit to give some movement to these paints. And I'm just going to take that paintbrush and just randomly put some paint down. I know they're going to run together. I'm okay with that. I'm hoping not to get brown. I had a little bit more paint on my brush, so I thought if I could see if I could get some inside paint brush marks on the upper one. I was hoping to do that. And then I go and use some of that green in the middle, and even mixing it right into the blue. And then I add more water. I'm going to add a little bit more green. I want it decent size. I don't want it little. I know I'm going to put my picture on there. That's going to cover some of it up. So I just want to make sure that um, it gets to swish around a little bit and that it's big enough. So here I go, moving it around a little bit, not very much. And I think I want it a little bit bigger. Holding the photo in there, I know I want it bigger in relationship to the photo. So I will add some more green, bringing it up near the blue, and then more water for movement. And then you can see the green going into the yellow, and that totally works. And because, now there's not that much yellow on the bottom, I do want to bring some more of the gold, the yellow back in. So I'll brush that on the left-hand side, pull my picture back in, and I still want it just a little bit bigger. So I go back in with the blue. And here, well, no, it's kind of pooling in the middle. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but by this time I've got a lot of kind of liquid in the middle. I did kind of splash, like kind of on accident. So I'm taking the blue. I won't do it with either the yellow or the green, which I could, but I will take some of that blue just to splatter it around so that my one random splatter doesn't look weird. That big one is actually going to get covered up with the photo. So it's okay that that's a lot bigger than the rest of them. So now I think I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Since I like what's going on the left, I'm going to come back over onto the right and kind of, I don't want to say fix the blue, but, and I'm okay that it's not perfect, but it just had that big, nice, wispy brush stroke, and the other two didn't have that. So there it goes. Here it is dry, and I'm really liking the way it looked. I went ahead while it was drying and cut out some pieces on my Cricut. We have an ornament, and I was looking for the images that, you could see through. So we've got the gold, with the with the gold color with the gold ornament on top of it. We've got the blue with the bell that's gold on top of it, and then the tree that's gold with the green behind it. Now, on my sketch, it says handwrite a title. This is not something I do often, but I don't mind doing it. Um, it is something I feel like risky to me because if you screw something up, that there's not a lot of necessarily big ways to fix it unless I was going to put it like a bigger photo mat or something. So I'm making sure I'm spelling Portillos right, and I'm looking to see what color I might want to use. And I do go with a darker blue. You can see that I tried out the lighter blue and the darker blue, but I thought I'd try the darker blue, and I do spell out Portillos. Now, of course, I don't know how big it's going to be, how long it's going to be, so I started a little bit left of the mat, which offsets it. So then what did I do? I decided I was going to write Pablo and Christine on the bottom. And so, well, actually with the Cernas, I think it is. So I started off to the right with that. So it kind of offsets it. But now what really bothered me is that their last name is kind of wonky and going uphill. So I'll go ahead and put my journaling in right away. This is a Muji pen, and I will just write that we went out to eat the day after our, well, the day after our New Year's Eve festivities, we went out to have Portillos. And I was hoping somehow that was going to make it look more straight. It totally doesn't. And in fact, I grabbed the marker to go back in and not fix it, but kind of make it so that it looks more straight. And I actually grabbed the light blue one, and I start with a W, and oops. So I'll go back in, and if anything, that might look like there's a little bit of a shadow, but it's fine. So I go to their last name, and I kind of try to pull that down a little bit without making it look too weird. And, so the A is thicker at the bottom. I did what I could. And you know what? It was made by me, and you can tell it. So there you go. I really like the way this turned out. I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Leave me any comments down below if you have questions for me. I'd love to answer them. Come back and see me again soon.